podcast is rated TV PG for fantasy violence and language. Welcome back to Star Wars Birth of the Republic tabletop role-playing game. Episode 18. I'm Kirk, and I will be your storyteller.
I am Andrew. I play Hakru, the Zabrak Scout.
I'm Eric. I'm playing Lashara, the Bothan Noble.
I'm Greg. I'm playing Dodd, the Human Scoundrel.
Yeah, I'm Seth, playing Jad Markeda, the Rhodian Scoundrel.
This is Mary, and I will be playing Rura, the Tagorian Scout.
Welcome back to another episode of Gaming Without Gaming, and we are, last time, we had taken control of Odont's ship and his protocol droid, F-7-2, and the crew went to Goshi base, and was able to use the protocol droid as kind of an access key to get in and go right to Odont's office, which was at the top of this tower inside of an amusement park space station that was sort of floating out in space. You guys wound up sending out 7 messages to 7 assassins to kill a Hutt named Shaba, and you kind of transferred 1 million credits to each one if they accept the job, and then 4 million to complete it. You also added yourself as administrators for the base. You found out that Odont had about 48 million in his bank at the moment. And you also found out that he gets about 200 million flows through that bank account every month. So you took about 10 million to give to Haro for getting his base or one of his buildings blown up. You also took 7 million for yourselves. Jad took 2 million. You altered some data to say that Daghi had dried up and that Sula was being sought for interfering in the process to begin with, which we didn't verbalize, but I'm assuming that is taking your bounty off of you and putting it on her instead of having that float around out there. You found evidence of Odont's double dealing on Rampau. I think it was a holovid of him giving weapons to both sides, and the weapons were marked clearly for each side. And on the way out, you managed to reprogram an HK droid and take it with you. And basically, you had just gone into or were leaving the base, and I don't think we said where you guys were headed. So I don't know if you're going back to Haro to talk to him, or if you were anywhere else.
I think we were eventually going to end up back at Haro's base, but we were going to try to create a false trail going to several of their systems before we bounce back there, so that if someone was to try to follow us, it would at least be difficult.
Okay. So some micro jumps or some small hyperspace jumps. It goes off successfully, and you guys can wind up back at Haro's planet. And it comes into
Grabbing
view.
a pencil.
So, just to recap, we have Leto, which is our base droid. We have F-7-2, which was that one guy's protocol droid. That's ours now, right? We as a group agree that he's ours because I've reprogrammed him and made him my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck, I'd go as far as to say he's yours.
And then we have
What do you think of that?
This means nothing to a crew. As far as a crew knows, he just made friends with the guy. Okay. He doesn't think he owns a droid.
All right.
And then also as a group, we've taken the security droid. So at this point in time, we have 3 droids.
Yep. 3 very different functions.
Oh yeah, not even close.
Yeah. So one is going to hopefully do a lot of fighting in my stead, which is great because I'm not exactly a fighter. One is going to do a lot of helping with the repairs and whatnot in my stead because I'm not particularly good at repairing stuff. And then one of them is just your best friend in the world who can tell you all about the fascinating world of cupcakes and what fork to use.
You just described Jad, Rura, and a crew.
Hey, man. What can I say?
A ship needs a big crew. A big ship needs a big crew. We're good.
Well, and we're building onto that ship, and I believe it was someone else's idea that perhaps we should kind of have multiple vessels to get around in. And I can't think of a better one than this little courier ship of Odont's, right? But it will definitely need a paint job and
serial number swaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Switching.
So out of character, really quick. We had an opportunity to kind of hijack that entire station if we wanted to. I kind of blanched on the idea because of 2 things: meta-wise, game-wise. I'm always afraid of anything that's offered of that great of a value because that means something of that great of value will be taken away from us as well, because that's the cosmic circle, or at least Kirk's games. And so I kind of was like, we planted the seed. I think we're maybe a few levels away from being able to capitalize on that, but I think I'm hoping, meta again, that's something we can revisit down the road once we get a little bit more established. But I wanted to ask the rest of the crew, do you think that was the wrong move at this time? Do you think that we should give up our quest to stop this group and become station administrators? Or what are you guys thinking about that?
Personally, I agree with you. Right now we're very mobile. We have contacts, that we've made at different locations and stuff, and can bounce from place to place and have quote unquote safe havens and places to temporarily base. But having something that's ours that we have to take care of, is a whole different level. I would much rather have a couple ships first before we went to something of that level. That's just my opinion. I'm open to hear what everyone else says too.
So from a character, you go, Mary.
Okay, no, I would agree with what Eric was saying. Like, I like the idea of kind of building our own little mobile, collecting a couple ships, having a collection of places where we can go, like maybe that station where we can call them kind of we're not in charge, but we have safe haven, but otherwise not like taking over administrative duties yet.
Yeah, and just continuing to echo things, her crew, I can tell you this right now, has no interest in a quote-unquote base. He very much wants to get out and see the galaxy.
Okay.
But as a player, 100% stronghold building is something you absolutely gear towards for level 10, going completely meta with this. So absolutely, I think it's on the table. Again, I think it is a ship building thing. Like, I'd say, like, probably by the time we have 4 ships with each one, crewed by NPCs, then that would, well, not like, but like, let's say, like, there would be like the the Dodge ship, the Jad ship, the I am blanking on. It's been so long. I'm blanking on Lash's ship. And then I could just like Hakuna's initial, and then there would be Nanat's ship. I kind of like see like that kind of happening. And then at that point in time, we actually have an organization, and then that would need a base of operations. Right now, we're just 6 assholes.
6.
Yeah, Nanat.
Oh yeah.
Because
Never wanted
Leto
to-
is not an asshole. He is a gentleman.
You do realize you need to remember that you sent the assassins out under Odont's name. So if there's any transfer of any facilities or money or whatever, you probably need to
That'll
do
come back
that
to
really.
us.
You probably need to do it pretty fast before he gets a hit put on him, and the Tatari just assumes all of his assets.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. And I kind of view that station as this is neat and something that's on the table. I don't honestly see us ever taking that station specifically.
Yeah.
Well, and I worry in a tactical scenario. We really don't know yet how big the Hutt's organization is, but I mean, we could probably all assume it's pretty damn big. It's a Hutt, and we just don't have the capacity to defend a station like that. I mean, we don't really know exactly what all security features it has and everything, but we're just 6 assholes. How are we going to defend from a Hutt cartel?
Right. How many of those people are going to stay loyal to the Hutt? How many people are going to stay loyal as long as there's money? What's going to happen when those money lanes dry up? Because we currently have like half of one.
Yeah, I'm okay staying small and build on a curve instead of jumping to that level.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we were kind of all in alignment and that no one was kind of feeling like, oh, geez, why didn't we do that? You know what I mean? So that's definitely something that we could revisit at a different time. I like that we left ourselves back doors to get in, because if the Tatari are going to continue to function, we've got a way to access their information. Because Odont, who is Odont's boss? We figured that out, right?
There was somebody between him and the Hutt, but there's like
It's a Mon
it goes Odont, somebody the Hutt. That's what I remember.
It's a Mon Calamari.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did I put him? Scoria.
Scoria. Yeah. So the other thing that I'm concerned about, we sent 7 really high quality assassins to take out this Hutt, right? This Hutt is likely to survive. Hutts don't get assassinated, right? That just is an extremely rare situation. Once the Hutt survives 7 assassination attempts, he will figure out who sent him after, and they're going to try to hunt down Odont.
Right.
So we need to find a place to put Odont that isn't putting our friends in harm's way.
Right.
Would you agree?
It sounds like holding on to Odont is a really good idea, and once there's a reward for his capture, we then turn him over to the Hutt.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was going
would
to
your
say
character
we
have
need
come up with
to.
that?
No, a crew would never have come up with that. This is Andrew as a player handing that information over to whoever wants to hold on to it.
Yeah.
That's a Jad plan for sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same
That's
thing.
Seth's guy wants to do
Pirate-wise.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dodd would know that before they hunt him down, they would just try to take his assets before they even went. They'd take all of his money, freeze his accounts if they could. So your window for doing anything through Goshi Base and Odont gets exponentially smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to do anything else, have him transfer assets to you or whatever you got to do. It's the window's shortening up, because once it's transferred out, I doubt they would try to go after you unless.
Can they track the transfers we've already made?
No, I think the ones you did on Cred's cred chips.
Right.
Okay.
Besides putting yourself
sure
as
that-
administrators.
Yeah, we talked about
We
that.
were assured that they were completely untraceable.
Okay.
So only trace back to you is you guys being partial administrators in the Goshi base.
Huh. Man, I wish we would have had the forethought to bring like some sort of EMP device that wipes the memory core of that computer when we want to. Maybe that can be mission number 2 later.
Well, we created credentials. I have it listed here. We created credentials for our party under aliases, so it's not direct to us, but how secure is an alias?
Right. People smarter than us probably would figure it out.
Lady Marti.
Well, video surveillance and things like that was happening at the base. So
I was wearing a clown mask. Okay. No. Okay.
Drew has never been that clean before. He will never be that clean again. As far as he's concerned, they won't be able to think about.
So
is that something that we want to think about before this gets underway? Is going back there for anything to
Well,
cut off any kind of lingering ends?
we seemed kind of suspicious on our way out. I don't know that we could just walk back in easily in a very, very short period of time, unless you guys think we can, in which case I'm all for it.
Is there any
is
way
there
to get
like a-
into it remotely now, since we have administrative access to get rid of stuff? Because now Kirk pointed out something, very important. Video surveillance. Are we? We're already kind of known by the Tatari, a little bit less than we thought from what Odont says, but still, they might be able to match us up from surveillance to, what they know. Is there any way for us to cut those loose ends off?
I don't know. Todd would know, though. Can I make a computer check, maybe, or
yeah.
We're playing a game.
The only people that have a visual on you guys are the 2 guys in the jail cell on Harrow's planet.
so my
That makes me feel better.
So the video
first-
surveillance at the base would just be putting a name to the aliases that you guys created.
And the thing is, from what I remember, is the info they had was that they were looking for the Ripper and its crew.
Right.
They knew what the Ripper looked like. They don't know what the crew of the Ripper really looks like. Because so far, we haven't really left anybody who's been able to visually identify us.
So that's just your base. That's just your base roll.
that's just my base roll.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was my first roll of the day. I just hit the die button and it boom,
Starting off
20.
strong.
Yeah, it'll be the only one I get.
Right. So it's like, just kind of like, again, as a player spitting this out there, and if I need to stop speaking as a player and go over to character, I will. I don't think that they're, like I said, if they put the faces to the aliases, fine. But all that really means is that we're now somebody who's been put as close to Odont. So when they put the hit on Odont, they may come, try to press us for questions. But at the same point in time, if we pull the Jad plan and just the minute hits put out on there for him, we turn him over. And as long as we don't show up to turn him over in the Ripper, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Does
And it might be an end for you if with whoever you're turning him over to. If
Right.
you want to get in that way and say, well, we were looking to take over Goshi base or whatever,
you could
Or I'm
use
just
that
like,
as
yeah, Odon's an
leverage.
idiot. We were planning on
You want.
taking advantage of him. He did the work for us. What kind of moron puts a hit out on his boss 7
Yeah.
times?
Yeah. He wanted out
What-
and he was going to sell everything to us, or he sold everything to us, and that's why we're involved now. So it's up to you how you guys want to do it.
Does Harrow have some sort of like whatever the Old Republic version of carbonite freezing capabilities?
Would he have it?
He seems to have all sorts of industrial stuff.
No, he doesn't. Or he hasn't
Okay.
talked about it. Yeah.
We can maybe ask him where we can get that, because I think that if we take and make Odont an Odontsicle, we could not have to listen to him talk for
Yeah.
starters.
Yeah.
And second, it would be a little bit less heavy on my conscience because he's not going to be there.
Right.
He also wouldn't be taking up resources, but it would make for a really great delivery system as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's out there. It could be bought with the money you have. I don't think it would cost hardly anything to set something up in one of his buildings, even for him. And that might be more preferable to him instead of trying to house prisoners, is just to freeze them and put them in a storage room.
Right. Stack them up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. So that's very reasonable. So your role for your computer use was to do what?
That was to basically check to see if we had remote access somehow to that system.
You have, yes.
Okay.
It depends on what you're wanting to do. If you want to delete info, I think you're going to have, like video, you're going to go through the security droid, and that'll get logged again too. So that's something, if you want to do, you can go back there and go through the files in his office and erase them that way. Because it's not hardline, but it's a security procedure. You know, they don't want people just logging in and erasing everyone's data.
But we can do stuff like remotely route money and stuff like that. Okay.
Or set up contracts or sales bills or anything like that. And you can probably backdate some of them with a good enough roll.
Okay.
It may take you having to go back and getting into the office and actually manipulating it from there. But yeah.
Okay.
But
one more potential plan question here. We've seen, this is really kind of going meta, but the two people that we have that worked for Odont, we've kind of, or the Chitauri guys that we have prisoner, we've kind of gained some of their trust a little bit. What would it take for us to put them in charge of the station? And
they're not really
quote
smart.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't show any signs of being like, there's the street thugs. They're really not at a level like they were acquired at a low level on a planet and probably fed and given some duties, and they were sent to go look for you guys, and that was about it. So they were sent to a planet to hang out for weeks and wait.
Gotcha.
And I feel like anybody smart enough to pull that job off is going to double cross us anyway.
Well, what if it's somebody that is under Haro? Like, we can manipulate records to show that this person's been working for Odont for a while and make him in charge. My whole point here is to maybe have this as not something that would be quote unquote taken from the Hutts, as an asset when they get pissed at Odont, because it's making money for them hand over fist. But if we have somebody that we have in charge there, it could instead of being a lost asset, it could be something that's a peripheral asset.
Makes sense.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it was owned by Odont in totality. They transferred it to him. He's generating money. He's paying them a certain percentage, and we didn't figure that out. So you'd have to go chug through the files and find out what he's paying them on a monthly basis, and then if you just keep doing it, then they really won't. I don't know why they would have much to complain about. So
okay. Well, if you guys like that idea, we can go back to Haro and see if he has anybody that might want to
administrate.
Just on that level and keep the status quo as it is. We have our backdoors into the systems, but we just kind of lay low and keep that part of it quiet while it does its thing, and we can use it as needed. But we can, we'll be keeping our hands out of that bucket other than the contact through Haro.
okay. Are you being attacked, Seth?
Yeah, for some reason there's a bunch of flies in my shop.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why.
So we're going to say you guys were heading back to Haro's in this last jump. Where were you jumping, like every 3 hours or something like that? 2 hours?
Sure.
Just
Whatever seems to make sense, yeah.
Yeah. So you arrive, the planet comes into view, and you guys go and set down on his one of his private landing pads. And the tower or whatever, or whoever the administrator is, contacts you guys when you come in and says, "Welcome back." Get out, and there's another protocol droid, one of his protocol droids, waiting there for you guys, and says, "Welcome back. If you'd like to follow me." He takes you guys back into his main building, and it's lunchtime, and he's in the middle of eating, and stands up and welcomes you guys back.
Who wants to give him the cred stick?
You can do that. You've been kind of the primary guy with Hara.
All right. I'll, flip back my jacket and sit down at the chair and say, Haro, once again, you've outdone yourself with the fantastic lunch spread. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent.
It's been pretty quiet.
So, Odont wanted to extend his apologies for blowing up your building. And I hand him the cred stick with 10 million. Was it 10 million?
Yeah.
I think so.
He looks
10
at
million
it.
credits.
You tell him 10 million credits.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very good apology, he says, and he turns and hands it to one of the droids. He says, "Put that in the accounts." And the droid takes it and walks off. So very successful, sounds like.
Untraceable, by the way, as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
Wouldn't give it to you otherwise. We were successful in our mission.
Very good. We've been keeping him quiet downstairs. He's just idly threatening all day long. So, so did you find anything else out about what their plans were for me or you guys or anything?
So I kind of break down the whole operation, and I don't hold anything back. I give him the straight shot, the honest take. Look, we kind of intend to keep this ship of Haros. I'll even go as far as to outline the suggestion that perhaps he'd be interested in sending someone to administrate that building, as long as we maintain control, because it's our risk. However, we think that you could profit from this as well, and I don't see why we couldn't use it as some business leverage. And then I also explained the whole thing about the Hutts and the assassins, and then the final thing that I explain is I think that we need some sort of storage process, because someone's going to come looking for Odont eventually, and I'd like them not to find him here.
It's just that I'd rather keep him close if I can. Did you tell him about the carbonite?
Yes.
He says, that sounds like a great plan to put him in carbon freeze and then store him here somewhere. I don't feel comfortable sending himself somewhere else where someone can come in and grab him without us knowing, and that's all we need is him to show up somewhere, make it to the huts, make it to the huts, and tell him that you were actually the ones that put the hit out.
Well, he doesn't know.
If he got out, he would know.
Yeah, he'd probably figure out pretty quick.
So he says, I don't know if I would have sent assassins out right away, because it closes a timetable on us. So if we're going to do any transferring or anything like that, we're going to have to do it quick.
Okay. Well, you're the businessman. Tell me what you think we should do. Great, Seth. I caught your flies.
He says, I think we could work out a way to start removing his influence on the base and transferring over to a third party, like a corporation, instead of putting in my name or someone else's name, and just have like that being administered through them.
A shell company.
Yeah. And that way it looks more legitimate, instead of, somebody coming in and forcing them to sell. We could do some finagling on that end. So the only thing we would have to do is to either have him sign or somehow have his droid sign over, whatever.
That should not be a problem.
So
We do want to make sure that whatever arrangements were made to keep the Hutts happy continues until we want to make that change.
he says we could even increase their take by like 5% because it's nothing off our backs, and then they should be fine with that, I would think.
Well, as long as we're not interested in profiting greatly over his operation, I just would like to curtail some of the things that are more harmful that he's doing with that organization. So maybe we can leverage some more legitimate business prospects,
Right.
and try to create,
It
a
seems,
healthier ecosystem.
yeah, he says it seems like, from what you've told me, that most of his stuff is not automated, but it is set up to run without daily interference, without daily numbers or whatever.
There's a system in place, and it takes care of itself.
Yeah, like a big business would do. So
Sure.
he says all we have to really do is start transferring ownership over to the shell company, and then change their tactics down the road. So let it keep running, and then shut down one corporation or one part of it, and then open up a different thing that's more legitimate. But that could take a couple months. But
You've got the people that can do that?
I think we could do that.
Okay.
And even if
I don't
it's
know.
something like me contracting with them with the tour, that we could do that too, where I'm just a business.
That would look like a win in Odont's
Right.
pockets, and maybe that's why he fled,
Yeah,
is because he figures he's scored the big score.
right,
At least we could write that narrative.
right.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
reason why he's going to go live the high life somewhere and
Yeah.
take out his boss.
And that may be, if you have a month or two to drain his personal accounts and make it look like there's a lot of money that just got taken out and moved instead of being used to purchase things and whatnot. So,
The huge risk, though, Haro, I would really hate for the Hutt cartels to come down on you
as long
because
as,
of something that we're doing.
as long as we look like we're a legitimate business corporation that he's selling out to and then leaving, then I wouldn't see why they would have a huge problem with it, as long as they're still getting paid down the road.
Somewhere
I
in the
agree.
back of Dodd's mind is we're extending about 1,000 metric tons of trust to this Haro guy, but he has given us absolutely zero reason to not trust him.
This is
So-
true. I've thought about this. Lash has thought about this herself.
And the
Yeah.
exact opposite. He's given you a lot of reasons to trust him with what he's done on Dog He and taking
Yeah.
care of them and everything. I mean, people he doesn't even know.
We are
he's
supplying
making
him with a pretty cool asset that he can turn for a pretty great profit, though.
Right.
So, I mean,
But the other
we
thing
could
is,
be useful allies, or we could really be generating a friendship with
Right.
this guy.
and,
And
if you guys start taking over the Goshi-based stuff, I mean, it's another revenue stream for him too, legitimate.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure. But
Yeah, because
I
it
want
looked
to
like there was. Go ahead.
Oh, no, please.
I said it looked like there was a lot of legitimate business going on
Yeah.
on Goshi,
Yeah.
Goshi Station. Like it's a commercial, business entity.
Right.
We're like a print money button for him, aren't we?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. But
Because it's like, hey, this guy's been screwing you on tour. We'll just give you a direct connection to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
that guy who also was that guy's boss who tried to come up here and blow up your building. Yeah, here's 10 mil from his account. Like he's like, I gotta keep this golden goose happy.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
he's given
and-
us a couple of fancy dinners and
Yeah.
a really nice bathroom or three, and we're just like handing him everything else.
Yep.
he's taking care of our ship.
It's like I can only imagine this is what a non-toxic person feels like when they start dating someone who just left a traumatic relationship. Like, all I did was buy you a Twinkie, and I love you for it.
So what kind of role do I need to make to, is it persuasion perhaps? What I'm wanting to do is kind of get a feel for Haro in a way that, like, I can in earnest kind of ingratiate myself to this dude. Like, I want to generate a real friendship with this guy, and Greg the player doesn't know him well enough to know how to do that, but Dodd is intuitive about these kinds of things. So what kind of role should I make?
I mean, I guess if you wanted to, you could do like a background check on him to see how he's treated other business partners and things like that in the past.
That feels like if we're at his base, I feel like that's a really good way to signal to him that we're not exactly extending the trust. I'd rather do that surreptitiously somewhere else. I was thinking maybe like perception or
it's if you're trying to beat someone who's deceiving you, it's perception. I
okay.
believe. And I thought you've done this before to him, and you keep getting.
And he came across earnest, yeah.
You keep getting it back.
But we also just slapped him with another lucrative opportunity, and money to make up for probably the $6 or $7 million worth of building and materials that got lost. I mean, just guessing.
Yeah.
But
he says, this shell company, we could all be the whatever of it.
The principals?
The principals or the committee or whatever, the board. And so that we're all getting money from this no matter what. So it's a 6-way, 7-way split or whatever you want to do.
Okay.
And that way it's, no one has, he wouldn't have control over the majority at all. And he volunteers that. I mean, he's like, this is just another line of a revenue stream for me. So,
Haro, how did you get started in this business in the first place?
His family's been in construction for generations.
Okay.
So, he was raised, on the planet with tutors and stuff like that. Just grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, but really had a humanitarian streak that mile long. So he takes care of his employees really well. None of them there's no disgruntled people really working for him. So when the tour stopped, he still paid his employees even though they couldn't do any construction for like 2 months. So he seems pretty legit, pretty honest, and pretty, compassionate about his fellow beings.
Okay, well, I'm cognizant of that and definitely not wanting to take advantage of the dude. So what's next? What do you need from us immediately to make this happen?
He said, if you're as good with the computer as you have been in the past, then setting up that shell company would be the next step.
Okay.
Giving it some longevity. It's been around for 15, 20 years or whatever, if you can do that.
Done.
And then give it other fake business opportunities that it's been involved in, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So
that would probably involve some gather information roles and some... Okay.
But it shouldn't take too long to set up.
Anybody want to give me a hand with this stuff? And we can do that off screen too.
Right.
We might want to get our slicer friend involved.
There you go. The music lady.
Yeah. I do like her.
Yeah, and she's another one that if you want to fold in somehow or talk to her and see if she wants to take over some of the assets from.
Well, she's part of a family business of like food distributors, right? Yeah. Right. So
instead of selling weapons, you could hook her up to where she's selling food to planets that need it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, she could operate out of here. We could offer that as part of the deal for her to set up the shell company, along with maybe some upfront cash.
Yeah. Well, you guys have enough cash to throw back into something, if you needed to.
Sounds good.
There could be some real players in the market.
Seriously, like this stuff is like all on a shady level that Lash is like really kind of weird about, but she feels like it's in the right.
Right.
It's for the right thing and for the right place. It's for the good.
Right.
I'll even pull Lash aside and put my hand on her shoulder and say, Lash, look, I understand that in your history is probably a considerable amount of wealth and opportunity.
This is
Right
true.
now, we have an opportunity to create some wealth for ourselves and some opportunity for other people, and maybe even some good things for for people who simply don't have the means. Right?
She,
That's
like,
pretty noble.
She cocks her head to the side and scratches her snout a little bit, and she says, "Dad, I agree. I'm on board. I just want to make sure that that we don't leave holes open for corruption to get involved once we're not directly involved. You know."
That makes sense. There's always going to be corruption we'll need to weed out. That could be a full-time job. Let's try to do some good with what we've got. Oh, and also make a ton of money.
Good to me.
Yeah. That was supposed to be a little Malcolm Reynolds. We're going to do a lot of good and make a lot of money kind of conversation. So,
All right. So you want to? We're gonna go through some of this fast. Do we want to contact? What's her name? Arula.
Mm-hmm.
And
is it? Okay.
Let me check.
She's my contact. I should know this. I just don't.
Yeah, Arula.
Yeah, Arula. Yep.
Okay.
Arula Shul.
She comes up. I mean, you could just. We're gonna kind of get through this because I think we're at 8:30 right now. So,
Okay.
you just give her all the information, tell her to set up the account, and she can sort of flesh out where what it looks like and to make sure it looks legitimate.
Does she seem stoked?
She seems interested in getting put in as a supplier.
Okay.
And that's, where it's, like I said, she's used to working on planetary levels, supplying food and things like that. And if she could secure other planets that could generate food and then she could send food to, that's really what she wants to do and make money.
Okay.
So
We'll make it a priority.
yeah, and it's Natch 20. So the creation of this thing, she's going to work on. Just give me a day or two to finish it out, and I'll work up some other stuff to be contracted out by them once they get control of his assets and the base and everything like that. And she goes through and says you could probably do like a holo vid of him signing away or talking to selling, Goshi base to you guys, but it's going to either have to be created from scratch if he's not going to do it, or find some way to generate a hologram that could pass as him.
Or we could film him saying the right phrases and we could socially engineer it and then splice it together.
Possibly, yeah. What else does she say? I think that's it from her. She's just going to go ahead and start working on that and make it
Great.
look like the group has been on. She said, what do you want to call the group? The company.
Oh, no.
Ah!
Yeah, it's in Shrywook, so it's hard to pronounce.
Let's name it Minok, after my old ship.
All right. I'm down with that.
Just Minok.
Minok Company.
Here's the company called Dog.
Yeah.
Awesome. Deer.
Hey, man, there's a planet called Dog He.
Rhinoceros.
Minok LLC.
Minok Merchants.
Okay.
I feel like the word consortium should be in there somewhere.
Ooh,
Okay.
there you go.
Like maybe a color. Somebody give me a color. We'll do this. We'll do this right.
Teal.
Crimson Consortium.
It can't be Crimson. I like Crimson, but it's too much with the Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
Is there another
Oh.
word for teal? Teal feels weird in front of Minok.
Aqua.
Seafoam.
Well,
Man.
Minox. Aqua
Ask an
Minox is
artist.
almost a tongue twister. I like it.
Ask an artist for a color, and she gives you teal and aqua. Okay. I mean, that's cool. I'm good with it. So Aqua Minoc Consortium.
Aqua.
Yeah.
It translates better into the original Bothan. That's all I'm saying. In
Aqua.
the original Bothan, it's much, much cooler sounding, but it literally means
Aqua
Aqua.
Minoc Merchants
AMC.
Right.
AMC.
A
MMC.
What is it?
AMC.
AMC is good. Yeah. Aqua Minoc Consortium. I like it.
I was trying to think of is it
Did
Amco? AMMCO?
Amco.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from Andrew. Andrew, do you want to contribute a word on this thing?
I said Seafoam and got passed up. I also contributed Crimson and got passed up.
I totally missed you saying Seafoam. I don't know what the objections are to Crimson. I think Crimson's a great idea, but
Oh, yeah, no. I really don't care. I was going for the alliteration because you're talking about consortium. But if the only other thing I could think of were just other sea colors, so I went with I was thinking like coral, and then I was going with copper. So yeah, I was going down like the list of sea colors, or possibly one that begin with a K, something with a K sound. So it's consortium.
CCCP.
Or you
know,
can get like
it's been a
or you
while.
can, instead of being AMC, it could be like two L's consortium, so then it is an LLC.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You do something like Crimson Comet Consortium. Triple C.
All I know is that I've been in a lot of bands in my life, and every time I tried to name it, it was the wrong idea. So that's why I'm asking you guys.
Let's see.
Yeah, and anything I've ever joined, it had a name, and then they involved me. So I've never been involved in a naming process outside of like D&D stuff, and I'm usually the DM going, "That sounds dumb."
Everything sounds dumb to a creative, honestly. It just does.
Which is why I tend to focus on like puns and alliteration and shit like that. So no, I think
So
the
are we all,
Aqua Mandrake Consortium or Mennonite,
Minoc.
whatever. Minoc,
Yeah.
there we go.
yeah. So Aqua Minoc Consortium, I think works. Let's just go with that if you guys are cool with
Okay.
it.
All right.
That is the goofiest freaking name, but I like it.
It works.
It's
It
very
is.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
Star Wars.
yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah,
Feels- I feel like I could see it painted on the side of a sand crawler or something, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
Uh,
All right. So she goes into starts working on that. What else were you guys going to look up?
Carbon freezing chambers.
Oh, that's right.
yes.
He says he knows somebody that can set him up with one.
Can I ask a question that's
Sure.
kind of a non sequitur? So this carbon freeze thing, the reason I framed it in the guise of something like a carbon freeze is because I always thought it was kind of silly that they were using the carbon freezing process, which is a Tibanna gas transit protocol, for like all of a sudden in the Mandalorian they're like, oh no, this is our actual protocol for transporting
Right.
prisoners. It's like
especially if you go back to the movies, and the whole reason that Han got frozen was he was testing the process like it had never been done before.
right, exactly.
Right, to make sure it would be safe for Luke.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, you don't think Lando figured out that worked and then started marketing it?
Yeah.
You know, you
Right,
got a
but this
good
is
point.
Way before that.
We're 1,000
Right,
years
that's right. I
before
forgot where we are in the timeline.
Yeah.
So
So you could justify it as a lost technology, something that is
Yeah.
being rediscovered or reworked in the movie timeline, but that's about it.
or maybe it's one of those they know it's safe for certain species, they just didn't know if it was safe for humans.
Yeah.
I'm honestly happy with just cryogenics at all.
Yeah.
I just don't want this guy taking up resources
Right.
or blabbing his mouth or having the opportunity to contact somebody.
Right.
I think it's really good to just take him out of the picture, and I'm not really willing to kill him.
Right.
Medical induced coma inside of a life pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing you could think of it is the Bespin facility was not set up for human beings, and that's why they were testing it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right, because it wasn't. It
Yeah.
was okay. That makes sense.
I've read some other stuff that really kind of show that carbon freezing was around for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if it's just retcon or what, but
Yeah, I don't know if it's. Yeah, I'm with you. Where like everything I've read going to the old extended universe, it had been around for a very, very long time, but I don't think the only record I know of it being used to transport people for the first time was with Han. But at the same point in time, I'm not here to naysay. Point being, we have so many options. If people out there in internet land want to stamp their feet about it, wouldn't be frozen carbonite because of this. Okay, fine. Medical induced coma inside of a pod. Either way, he's on a shelf in a warehouse somewhere.
We're just going to go with carbonite.
We have a
around.
pod.
Carbonite works for me. Let's do it.
GM ruling, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's our universe.
We'll just say
Damn it.
that, the Bespin facilities weren't set up for human beings, and that's why they tested it on them. But other than
I
that,
like it.
people have been
Let's
using
roll.
it. So,
So, on the phone, let's get some carbon freezing chambers.
okay.
Yeah,
Chambers or one?
I guess we only really need one, don't we?
Because he was going to put it in one of his facilities, like in a back area where you could take someone in
Yeah.
there and freeze them.
Or industrial supplies, whatever.
Right. Actually, Arula would be the person for the carbon freezing because she
that's
ships so much food around.
Ah,
She probably has large versions of it as well.
okay.
Also, I mean, like, he's building a new building. Like,
Yeah.
he could, once he gets it, he could just, like, tuck it away in a secret wall.
Yeah.
I figured when I was talking to her, like I tried to compartmentalize some of the stuff that we were up to not have her implicated or give her the opportunity, because we don't have the same kind of groundwork with her that we do with Haro. However,
She doesn't have to
she's
know.
been a legit
Yeah.
fence for us in a pinch a couple times now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I'll just tell her straight up. Maybe this is a conversation we should have in person. How far is she?
I
Well-
don't think we should keep her. I actually like the idea of us keeping some of this stuff compartmentalized, just because some of it is borderline. Well, not borderline. It's shady. It's straight up shady. But
Okay,
we can just buy.
Dodd was
use her-
thinking. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Eric.
we could just use her as a contact to get the equipment. No, I mean,
Right.
why would she ask questions about what we're going to use it for?
She wouldn't.
I mean, she knows what it's for.
She
Dodd
would.
can still go pick it up, right?
Or be delivered, whichever way. It's up to you.
I'm just saying. I think Dodd wants to hang out with her.
I think Dodd wants a date.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean,
it's
you
up
guys
to
have
you.
seen the picture on my character sheet. I'm a dashing and cunning looking dude, and I deserve like a hip DJ chick. So okay. Anyway,
Jad wants to pull Haro aside and just tell him, hey, listen, on my dime, why don't you get our new ship we just finagled? We paint that a metallic teal and then a nice pearl white Minoc on the side. Just, it's a surprise to the rest. Thanks. Now walk away.
Okay.
teal is my
Cool.
least favorite color.
I'm cool with it. No,
Or is
I
it
love
Aqua?
it.
It was Aqua?
I'm also not a
Aqua.
fan,
I
but
mean.
it's
Yeah.
I should have shut up, and we should have just went with Crimson.
I think we're good. I think it's fun
We're
that
good. It's fun.
Greg would hate it, but I bet Dodd loves teal. Dodd seems
If
like
we're
the
trying
kind
to
of
stick
guy
with the
that-
blue thing, we could go cobalt.
Cobalt. Ooh,
a better color.
I do like cobalt a lot.
All right, we'll retcon it.
So the Cobalt Minot Consortium.
Yeah.
Yes. It sounds like we mined sapphires, but it's all good.
We're all just diamonds in the rough, you know.
Oh,
Okay.
and I'm a leaf in the wind.
All right.
Too soon?
Aw,
Too soon? Okay.
too soon.
All right. So
Just never ask us to watch you soar, and we'll probably be good.
Okay.
all right. You guys finished your meal and everything, and you're kind of free to go do what you want to do.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of hang with Haro.
Okay.
See how he's doing. I know that this whole thing has been very upsetting to him, and just kind of listen to him talk and explain what's been going on since then. About after the attack, the bomb. You know, does he have any other suggestions for where we might go? Explain to him that we think that we're going to head to this planet,
Ron Powell.
Ron Powell, soon with the information that we've got, and broker some sort of ceasefire, at least.
Yeah.
Some sort of like seizure of the hostilities while they maybe turn their guns on the actual T'Chari. You know, wait, are we running the T'Chari now? No, that
No.
other dude is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those shipments were coming through the Goshi base, so if you wanted to have them stop there, you could probably just stop sending shipments to them.
Yeah.
That could be one of the
That would
things that we do over the next month or two.
Well, didn't you suggest that Haro that was something we should do slowly over time?
He said we don't have a lot of time before
Somebody's-
the hut. Yeah. So
Well, this is one of the ways that we can actually set up a false path for the huts to track.
right.
Is finding a location where there's new money that's coming from these weapon sales is going where we want it to go.
right.
That the huts can track towards what's his face, Odont.
Yeah, lead them some breadcrumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's almost like you're a politician. What's
It's
going
almost
on?
like I'm a Sith.
Okay.
Have you canceled the coverage? Anyway, go on.
So
The existing condition.
So I guess the one thing you could do is set up several contracts to sell off some of his assets now if you wanted, and have them either cascade at a certain point or whatever. So that
Sure.
way, if someone looks into it, it's not an all one day he sold everything off. Or
Right. I would like to figure out what the most harmful thing he's doing is, and stop that today. Right. And as far as we know right now, it's the selling guns to both sides of the war that's taking place on a planet.
yeah,
But there may be something even more horrible that we can curtail.
what do you want it to be? You
Oh,
what I'm
I don't
saying?
want it to be anything.
I don't
That's
have
pretty
anything.
awful.
I don't have anything thought up. So it's
Okay.
if you want to say, "Oh, we stopped this or that," you're more than welcome to. But I
Okay.
don't. I'm not going to set up
Right. No,
35 things of revenue that they're doing horrible shit to. I mean, just you can imagine.
Okay. Whatever it is. that I'm imagining-
Slavery.
Yeah.
They've got a
Okay, yeah, we
huge
just
slavery
discussed
ring.
that.
He was selling children out of a pizza place in New York.
They have an actual puppy mill.
There you go. Lots of them. Space puppy mill.
Yeah.
Jesus. There's no
Yeah.
stopping this guy.
Yeah, all kinds
No
of stuff like
ethics at
that.
all.
He
Okay.
jaywalks in
They were
space.
he was making loath cat coats,
Oh,
selling them on the
jeez.
black market.
I bought 3 of them. Anyway,
You mean this old
I used
thing?
right.
When it gets dirty, I just throw it away and get a new one.
So we'll initiate that plan, trying to figure out what the hierarchy of sins is, and just kind of
I'd say
pass it down.
humanely
in that
slavery.
order.
He's got a pretty good slave trade going on through the huts.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
that's what they're good at.
man. If it's okay, all right, and all right. Seems like we've got the ball rolling.
Okay.
What's next?
I guess you guys have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. If you want to jump on your ship and do, I don't. It's up to you guys.
How's the Ripper coming along?
I think there's still a couple more days, like 2 or 3 more days, because you guys switched up the hyperdrive, right?
Right.
Yeah, we were
no.
planning to be gone for a while, and we were back, I think, within like 48 hours.
Yeah, it was a really fast trip.
And they needed like a week.
Something like that.
Okay.
So I think we're on day like 4 or 5, maybe. And
Makes
I
sense.
had to look up the.
We spent some time doing random jumps too, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say we were gone for 3 days, something like that. Because I think like everything was like need 5.
Yeah, I'll have to look up the
okay.
thing on
Or was
the
like a crew
G
of
drive.
5.
So Lash is
Then-
gonna spend the next day or two catching up on training with the Holocron and try to get her instructors' opinions on the shady maneuvers that they're making and justification thereof based off of the greater good.
Okay. Looking at the Ripper sheet, it was taking 6 total days to have everything implemented because you added something in. So we're at day like 5. So the end of the day tomorrow, it'll be up and ready.
Okay.
A crew, sorry, I'm just going to throw this in there, is also going to be catching up on the training that he missed. If they will let him assist with the Ripper, he will, just being convinced that it will go faster. And whatever time he has left, he's going to be talking with F-7-2, just getting to know the protocol droid, like his likes, his dislikes, and starting to build that friendship. And also to see if there was anything in particular the protocol droid, that protocol droid wished as a skill to have.
Good Lord.
Obviously, you don't need any of that right now. That can be.
He says he's fine the way he is. He doesn't desire anything. He doesn't,
No
doesn't,
aspirations.
doesn't work for money. Yeah, it's a droid. It's a protocol droid.
There must be something that you find joy in, and I wish to help you pursue those joys, because we are going to be friends.
His eyes are just lights looking at you.
Crew's just staring right back at him.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Okay, I will show you some of the things that bring me joy, and then we can try. And if there's anything you think about that you'd like to try, we can go and we can try it.
Okay. Whatever
So, yeah,
whatever you wish, Master.
We're going to fix
Whatever
that.
you wish, Master. Do you want me to be happy, Master? I'll be happy, Master.
Do you want it to hurt me?
It's a droid. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't know what you're talking about. It's there to serve. It's a protocol droid. It's like Leto doesn't really even have any aspirations. He just flies when he needs to fly and fixes when he needs to fix.
But he likes fixing shit. That's why I bought him a really awesome plasma cutter.
Cut to him in a confessional. I don't know why he keeps giving me things. I just do my thing.
Yes, but he's more efficient now at it. And if anyone tries to mess with him, he has a plasma cutter that hurts a lot more than the blowtorch he had before.
Maybe the protocol droid says, "I'd like a sushi knife."
That's one of those things that I've never really reconciled with the Star Wars universe is how you can have there's tons of droids that have like full on emotional capacities and aspirations and want to help and do good. Everything from Chopper R2,
Right.
that tactical droid that they find in Rebels, even Lando's droid in Rogue One or in Solo Story. But then you also encounter the ones that are just exactly what they are.
Right.
Is the answer to that a restraining bolt?
Kind of.
I don't know.
It actually came to us in the Solo movie. There is a it's like a personality dampening chip that you gets installed into droids that you can basically, when you do it, it takes away their free will, and that's why that whole droid was trying to start a droid revolution, because she was trying to rip them out of other droids. So there is a personality chip that can be programmed and throttled.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, honestly, I think that was like the best thing to come out of there was that lore dump about droids. I thought it was so interesting, and it made so much sense as to why, like, you'd see them that like you're a bucket. Why are you?
Yeah.
You just exist, and then there's like R2, who's the sassiest, most foul-mouthed droid ever, and I don't care. And then you also have Chopper, who is a war criminal.
Yeah. It may be the age of the droid without having a memory wipe too.
Oh, yeah, that's
Right.
a good point.
You know,
Yeah.
those are all heroic droids, though. The majority are not heroic characters, to sort of say. So,
All right, so I need to figure out how to turn F-7-2 into a heroic droid. I'll do it.
yeah, it may take years of him petering about and doing his thing, you know, before he starts having aspirations. Because right now he's content doing what he does,
Look at the
has his
difference
programming.
and he does a lot. I mean, he's a valet.
Hakru and F-7-2 we're gonna go discover the galaxy together.
Huh. I mean, look at the difference between IG-11 at the beginning of The Mandalorian and at the end, when he was willing to sacrifice himself.
Yeah,
So I bet TLC has a lot to do with it.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
Programming.
because,
Programming.
Yeah.
he's not an Ugnaught, but that other character that defines the Mandalorian, he even says like he went through and programmed that stuff. So this may be something that Hakru then. Cool. This is a fun thing for Hakru to dive into, because not that I was running out of things, but there was like everything was so long term. It's like I need something in the immediate for him to work on.
Pretty sure Kuil was an Ugnaught.
Yeah, he was.
He was? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so
Boy, that was a nerd moment, wasn't it? Oh, by the way, in episode 2, at 3 minutes and 25 seconds, he says the word "and," not Anyway, done.
All right, so Hakru's having deep conversations with the new droid, the new protocol droid. Dodd is setting up like not bank
A Tinder
accounts, but yeah, Tinder date.
Sorry, I'll go on mute now.
But is working on probably the consortium and what assets you're going to be pulling first from the base, and then stopping some or suspending some that are really gross.
And also using the resources that we're gathering by suspending those things to invest in other avenues. So I'm
Right.
looking for those avenues as
Right.
well.
The bad thing about the slavery thing is it brings in a lot of money.
I'm sure it does.
So if you suspend it, you're going to have to find out somewhere else to generate the funds, especially if you're going to increase the tribute to the Tatari in the meantime. Lash, you were going
That's
to
a
do.
good point.
You were going to.
Follow up on Jedi training.
Okay.
For the most part, she's having conscience problems with some of the things that we're planning to do. Even though she feels like it's the right thing, she's like, I don't know if this falls in line with the things I'm being taught by my master. So she's gonna spend time working that out with her master.
Okay. Rua, anything you wanted to do for another day or so while the Ripper's being put back together?
Yeah, Rura is actually going to go find Jad. I'm like, it's been forever. I'm trying to remember names. And have a conversation. There's something I wanted to talk to you about. Like, it's not an immediate thing, but you were on a pirate ship, right?
Yeah, and I got 2 million credits. I've never had this many credits. I'm going out to the casino. You want to come?
Yeah, sure. As long as we can talk on the way.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Cool. That sounds like fun. No, I have going through some of the stuff that I found on the ship that came with me. I found a map a star map, and I don't know what's at the end of it, but at some point, I think we should go try to figure out what it is.
Yeah, count me in.
Cool.
Where'd you find it?
It was
Exactly.
in my uncle's stuff.
Oh, okay, I see.
So it's something it sounds like a treasure hunt, which sounds like fun.
Oh, I do like a
B,
hunt.
If it's something he was looking for, I'd like to finish that.
I owe you. I can help you.
Thanks. I just figure it'll be easier to convince everybody to go along. Like, and not while we're in the middle of this. This seems really important, but later on when we've got some time.
Sounds good. Now let's go win some credits.
Oh, I like this plan. I've never played this game before. Let's go.
Let's see.
Off me fly.
That's Goshi base. Oh, shoot. Hang on. I thought I had it put in. Maybe not. Did we... I thought we figured out where it was.
I think we, found a coordinate. I have coordinates.
Okay.
I just don't know what's there. So.
Okay. Let's see if it's going to let me grab it and move it. Nope.
I'd like to move it.
I'd like to move it, but it's not letting me move it.
What a jerk.
Move it?
Oh, seriously? I guess we'll... Okay, let's see if that'll do it. There we go. All right. I want to say it was... Oh, shoot. Where did I put it? I don't think it was very far away. Let me look at my notes real quick. I have it somewhere. Because no sense in looking at this if it's a day away, ship upgrades. Yeah, of course I didn't put it down. All right. All right, I went ahead and saved the map, so it's on there. It's kind of close to Bathoui. So,
Yay.
you guys are on Dirk Tier right now. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 days away, so it's not super close, but... All right. Let's see. Notes. And you sent the letter off to like a physical letter off to your
Like a physical
mom
letter with a courier. My aunt, yes.
with no way to contact you back, or did you give her an address, or? Because I was trying to remember, and I'm like, I don't remember if she said where she was at or how to contact her back.
I don't think I did.
Okay.
But I also planned on, and I had forgotten about that, so thank you for reminding me. Some of what I wanted to do with this money that we just got is send half of it to my family.
Okay.
Whether that's, I don't know, what would be a way to make that transfer?
That you could just transfer because it's coming from a cred chip, so there's no real. There's no real accounting anything, I don't think, on that level.
Okay.
No space IRS or anything.
Right. Well, in that case, I would record a short, holo message, not try to call, but leave a voicemail without it having to ring.
Okay.
Just explaining that it's from me, and when you get it, you know,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So just you're cutting off any two-way conversation, communication with your family still. I just want to make sure that's where we're ending this. You're sending money, and you're sending a paper letter with no return address. So there's no way they'll
Yeah,
ever be able to
I think so.
contact you. Okay.
Not
right.
yet. Yeah.
Okay. So that sends off. Then go ahead and make sure you're adjusting your money for that. And you guys make it to the casino, and I don't know how you want to burn through some money. There's no gambling skill or anything like that, so
I think scoundrels actually do have something specific for gambling.
Yeah, I believe there
I
are
think
rules
so.
for it because I just don't remember what they are.
I'm trying to find it now.
This has come up before, and there's like at least a luck roll, but I don't remember what else there is.
he doesn't have anything like that. Burst fire, precise shot,
Yeah, I don't have anything like that.
weapon proficiencies, point blank shot, sneak attack, skirmisher.
It is
That's it.
gambling. Let's see.
It's page 47 of the core rule book.
Right. There's a subheading on the wiki. Just gambling against the house. It's a wisdom check.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a table.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, less than 5, lose entire stake. 5 to 9, lose half stake. 10 to 14, break even. 15 to 19 times 2. 20 to 24 times 5. 25 or higher times 10.
Yep.
That's the base, and there's more to it. I think like there are scoundrel talents that let you
It's a whole tree.
that can do more for this. But if he doesn't have them, then it's just this base.
Yeah.
But I don't have them either, so it's just like, you know.
I guess you get the wisdom modifier on top of your roll.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you want to play a game against the house, or do you want to do a pure chance game? It's up to you.
Oh, I'll play a game against the house.
I'd say that sounds like fun.
Yeah, and I'm gonna live it up and put down 50K.
Okay. And go ahead and roll your wisdom.
I mean, this was basically free money.
Yeah.
So I'll do like
Where's
I'll
my?
sit there like, and over the course of the evening, be like, there's like $25,000 that I'm willing to lay on the table.
I rolled a 20.
Then you win 5 times.
5 times. Yeah.
Ooh, hey, I got an 18.
You win times 2, whatever you put in.
Are you adding your wisdom modifiers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Ah.
There you go. So you can keep doing this until you want to stop. I mean, it's. Well, I guess if you keep winning a lot, they would probably shut you down eventually.
Right, now I figured that's like my for the night, like a total of 25,000 over the course of the evening, and
Okay.
I want it all back and beginner's luck and all the day. I went, oh.
Okay. That sounds better than keep rolling all night long.
Yeah. And I'm gonna walk off with my
Yeah.
250K
Okay.
and be happy.
For your $250,000.
Yeah.
We walked. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Is the point.
They
Exactly.
lots of free drinks, that sort of stuff. So doing pretty good.
The and Jad are stumbling home, but also more rich.
Yep.
I like this.
Yep. The night of training. It seems like it's not like you're rusty, but it seems like the training is not as smooth as it has been recently. And I don't know if it's frustration or if it's you feel like you're not moving forward fast enough tonight than you should. But she's doing a lot of sparring with her, holographic lightsaber and things like that. And it seems like she's pushing a little too hard, it seems like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And she's trying to get out of you what is influencing you so much right now, and trying to get you to pull out of you why this Goshi base thing is adding a layer of stress. Why is it bothering you so much? That sort of thing.
Okay.
Is it because you're sort of putting yourselves out there, and the repercussions could be, more than the benefit? She's just that's basically what she keeps going through, like
Okay.
trying to suss out where the source of stress is coming from.
So Lash is having difficulty coming to a conclusion about the methods versus the outcome, and some of the things that we're doing are borderline illegal, if not completely illegal, and it just doesn't seem like she should be doing that based off of the training she's been doing now for weeks and weeks with her master. However, she firmly believes that the outcome is for the good of so many people that she doesn't know a better way, and those two things are at odds with each other, and this is causing the stress.
She says you have to. You're almost there, but it's what's happening is you're about to fix a lot of things that are going on badly. So, if you use your Jedi mind trick on this Odont character to get him to sign over all of his stuff legally, what would it resolve itself better for you, knowing that by doing that you're saving lives down the road? Would it justify itself, in the end?
Sure. And she's just battling with the knowing that the ends justify the means here, but it seems counterintuitive to all the other things she's learned about the light side of the Force.
She says, well, it's, if you stand by and let the suffering continue, that's also on you as well by ignoring it. So
'Cause that's a very good point, Master.
She says, yeah, you're in a strange predicament where you can do a lot of change for good, but you're going to have to bend your own rules, because they surely wouldn't have any consideration to putting a bounty out on you and taking you out, which they've already done. So, and just because you were wanting to help out a group of miners on a small planet, that didn't mean anything to anybody. So, attacking.
I think
Go ahead.
with the insights that she's getting, it's making her feel a little bit better. I can roll if you
Sure.
like, if you think that that's appropriate.
Yeah. And also, if it fits with some of the frustration and everything, that's also what she is sensing from you as well. That the frustration of not knowing which way to go without tripping up, or is it best to leave things alone and let, the prime directive sort of thing. Like, do we leave them alone and they crash and burn, or do we go in and try and help them by manipulating things,
Right. So what kind of check do you think this would be, or what kind of?
Probably her wisdom.
Okay. So it's a total of 14.
You'd just be using the modifier, the +2.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So she rolled a 12 plus 2, 14.
It's you seem like you're okay with it, like it makes a lot of sense. to sort of use your frustration to make him, you can literally go in and tell him, we're going to stage this purchasing event and you're going to do this, and then just, at that point, do the Jedi mind trick and have him just sign it all off, as opposed to trying to make up a hologram and all that stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. She, after the conversation, I think she's going to like fully dive into the training and kind of put that all aside now that she's, kind of made her peace with the idea and getting the okay from her master that sometimes, the ends do justify the means.
And she also says, if you want to be a full light-sided Jedi, they oftentimes have to kill enemies because there is no other resolution. So that's another justification of trying to figure out, when is it necessary to take an enemy out or remove them. And you mind controlling them to sell off assets doesn't seem like it's as permanent as chopping his arms off or ending the threat that way. So
for sure. Okay. Yeah, it makes her feel much better, and I think anything holding her back from full focus on the training gets removed by the end of that conversation.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of the training is much more fluid, and you're sort of in the zone with deflecting her attacks and everything like that. Dodd finishes up his details, and you're basically sending these off to Arula, like, what about this and what about that, and she's working, remotely with putting things together. So let me roll her roll. Oh yeah, that's like a 32 for setting this up. So someone's gonna have to really be rolling really high to get past that, unless you want to roll your computer. Yeah.
I got 32 as well.
Oh yeah. So either way, you got a 34 on that, so it's pretty good.
Okay.
Late into the night, you're still talking. Hakru's talking to L7, and it's a long process. I think the reprogramming of IG-11 took like weeks of training him to 4T, and that's basically what you're having to go through.
So actually, this is some of the things I've been looking through, and this is probably something we're going to want to take offline to discuss more deeply. So the base L7 that you gave, it says he's got 2 non-heroic levels.
Okay.
However, those non-heroic levels have not been applied in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
That could be what's limiting him. That's what I've got to program out of him to get rid of that personality blocker or whatever. And we can figure out what those 2 non-heroic levels are, and we can kind of get a base for that going. So yeah, that. So I kind of like when I see like there is nothing there, because even Leto's got more personality than this, and he's a ball. He's my best friend. We have a ball. He's supposed to have he's supposed to have skills like equal to 1 plus his intelligence modifier, but there are some that he just gets for being a protocol droid, and he only has the ones he gets for being a protocol droid. Yeah. So there are 6 more skills that he should have, and 3 more feats.
F7. Yeah, he was set up to be kind of a blank protocol droid.
Yep. So we're it's kind of like, with his permission, because the crew would ask, like, I'm going to get into your brain and find out what's stopping you from being you.
Right.
Which obviously I kind of feel like he'd be like yeah, sure thing, master. But like the whole time I'm in there and looking at stuff, I'm actively talking to him.
Is it the heuristic? What's it called? Heuristic module that lets them become more like heroic class. Let me see.
I'd have to look into that. I was just looking at what it says on the base sheet, and I was just comparing that to what it says like in the books on how to create just a droid, period.
Right.
And a lot of them don't have anything listed for those non-heroic levels. They're just like, here's your base stock.
Right.
And where things get complicated is the fact that he's got 2 of those levels. Which, when I go and I look at the base model for this, like in the book, because it's in there in the Knights of the Old Republic book, it says 2 heroic levels. So everyone just copied and pasted that. They just never filled in what those 2 heroic levels are.
Right.
Probably so that you can tailor it for whatever you need it to be.
Right.
So, yeah, we're just at filling in 2 heroic levels.
Oh, where's it at?
But yeah, I was reading like what makes a droid heroic, and in the actual book, God, where is it? It's like, few droids aspire to heroism. More often than not, they just obey and follow their own orders. No single event creates a droid hero. As a droid personality develops and experience gains or gains programming to extend the droid's sense of self-awareness, then it can choose. Like, this is all like page 9
Yeah.
of the droid handbook.
Where's it at? Why wouldn't they have that?
I mean, we don't have
thought-
to make him heroic. He can be a non-heroic ally.
Right, but I think what you're looking
That's
for
fine.
is there's a processor, a personality processor, and he doesn't have it. And that's why I'm trying to find what it's called. Droid Heroes, maybe?
So I want to hold on to this page, but
Trying to scan through this real quick to see sizes, level. Heuristic processor. Let's see what that is. Allows a droid to learn by doing, usually without instruction. A droid is able to reason through several potential solutions to tasks to formulate the best approach. Because of this, a droid with heuristic processor may use skills untrained. Just like any other character, simply a droid can wield. Similarly, the droid can wield a weapon even if it's not proficient in its use. The droid with a processor can creatively interpret its instructions, allowing it to complete tasks in a manner that is deemable and appropriate. So this is why he's just a basic droid. He doesn't have this in him. Which, 2,000 credits, it's 5 kilograms. You can pick it up pretty much anywhere. A heuristic processor allows a droid to work around its behavioral inhibitor as long as it can justify a given action. For example, a non-combative droid can attack and even harm a sentient living being as long as he believes doing so will save more sentient beings from harm. Over time, droid equipped with this develops a unique personality based on experience. Because of this, memory wipes, restraining bolts are commonly used to ensure that a heuristic processor doesn't allow a droid to stray too far from its intended purpose. Still, some progressive masters actually encourage the droids to break their programming, trusting the droid's judgment to make independent decisions without taking advantage of the situation. So that's it.
okay. Yeah. So
You just have to get one and put it in him, and he'll start learning. Because right now you're kind of going through this, and doesn't seem like it's taking.
right. So I guess in terms of droid systems, that's what I was looking for. Just because I'm trying not to take up too much time because we're already at 9:30.
Yeah.
How about I fill out the 2
Yeah.
base levels, and we'll say like I spoke to Leto, and he informed me about because the droid heroic processor, which I'll ask Leto if he wants one too, because I'll buy him for both.
Does he have one? I'll have to see if he's got one. Lato. If he doesn't, we're probably going to have to say he does, just the way he acts.
He was recently given a heroic processor right there in his bio.
Yep. Yep.
Cool. So yeah, he tells me all about it. I'm like, hey, buddy, you want one?
Yeah.
And he's just, and F7 is just kind of like, designation, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Nanat gave it to him. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to do? We're just going to call it nighttime and dinner. You guys serve dinner wherever you want, or you can eat with Haro. He doesn't have much to offer. He's 4 days out to get the carbon freeze unit shipped. And he says, what do we want to do on having him turn over his assets to us? Are we going to try and record him talking about stuff and then just have it done, try and splice it in later? He's not certain. But he says it's got to look really genuine. So if we're doing any editing, it's got to be very, high quality.
So Lashara Tyson says, I've actually been speaking with my teacher about this, and I believe I have a foolproof plan, at least in theory. I have the ability to use the Force to coerce him into basically doing my bidding. It's a technique that Jedi don't practice unless it's absolutely necessary. But I have been practicing it, and both my master and I have come to the conclusion that the ends justify the means of using this technique. So I'd like to have a shot at it, and we can record the whole thing, and it'll seem absolutely natural and a perfect business deal.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He says, so we need to set all the contracts up and have him just go through, and we'll record him signing off. And he said, I guess if you want, you could have his droid standing behind him the whole time so that it still looks like the droid is working for him, in case anybody has any questions.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, well, let's do this tomorrow morning. We'll get everything set up and transfer as much as we can, I guess. Do we want to do the whole base and work from there? Put the base in the consortium's name and then start cascading things into it so it looks natural.
Lash looks over at Dodd and says, I don't have any reason not to. Can you think of any?
Let's do it.
Okay. And he says, it sounds like the droid, if necessary, can do some sort of management over the business, but it'll just be, falling in line with what it's told to do. If it has any questions, I guess it can contact us or let us know. So, Alex says that's enough for tonight. I guess I'm going to retire, and I'll see you guys in the morning.
Thank you, Haro.
No problem. Have a good night. And he gets up and takes his glass of space scotch or whatever and walks off. You guys break off and go back to your rooms. Let's see. Okay. Night's uneventful. Morning comes. You guys go to breakfast, and he's had his protocol droids working on it all evening about transferring whatever assets he has to the consortium. Everything, even the illegal stuff. He says we can shut it down later, change it, transfer it, or whatever. But as long as it's in the consortium's name, we can fix it.
Okay.
Okay. He says, do we want to do it all? Do we want to leave him with some stuff so that if he runs or looks like he's running, then he's still got money to deal with?
We leave him with the slave trade and then pin it on him?
That's a good
Wow.
idea.
Yeah.
Well, we were gonna turn him into the hut.
He says
I,
slave trade's not illegal. It's
just really distasteful.
yeah.
Didn't Haro say he didn't want to turn him over to the huts because he didn't want him to turn back around on us?
Yeah, that's he's leery that if we turn him over, then he'll just
Yeah.
say he's been captured the whole time. Everything's illegitimate. So
Yeah, I think we're going to hold on to him for quite a while, but
yeah. And if he
the whole time,
if he just vanishes too, like problem solved.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So I think Lash is going to propose to try to make Odont talk in a way that makes him sound like he's trying to exit,
Okay.
like he's trying to get out and needs to be quick about it.
Okay.
He's just trying to retire early.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess it'd be a persuasion roll.
Now, is this the point where she's going to use the mind trick?
You're basically, I guess you're talking to him to figure out how he reacts or would talk normally, so that when you use the mind trick, it's not totally like a zombie.
Okay.
It's not, hey, so I was blah, 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 blah.
Right.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You want to sell me the assets because you want to retire or whatever, and then he'll
I'm
probably
pretty-
repeat it.
Pretty awesome at persuasion. So let's see. 8 plus 11, so 19.
Yeah. Yeah, you're able to talk to him for a little bit and get his normal inflections. He's not super hostile at this point because he's being treated pretty decently. He gets snarky a few times. That's about it. So yeah, they set up an area that looks like an office, and they bring in some rando guy from the warehouse and dress him up real nice. And they go through a little thing of like, you're going to say you're part of this consortium and you want to, you're offering to buy his assets up and things like that. So let's see. Who has the highest deception roll? You might want to roll that and to set this all up and kind of.
Probably me. I'm at 11.
Yep, you got me beat. I'm a 10.
She was a noble. she could be deceptive.
Okay. All right. So you kind of set up the whole. Oh, go ahead and roll for it, I guess, real quick.
Rolled a 10 plus my 11, so 21.
Yeah. So it takes you a little bit. You kind of set up this little narrative where they're sitting at a table talking and just signing things over. So he gets brought in and he doesn't really know what's going on. They set him down and do you want to tell him to be quiet and just agree with whatever he's saying?
Well, I think this is where she's going to kind of coerce him into talking about retiring early. So if you want me to do that without a mind trick, just use persuasion techniques to convince him that retiring early is a good idea so we can actually talk about it legitly without having to use a mind trick at this point.
I don't know if he would.
I will use the mind trick for sure.
I think
if
the
that's
best
the only way
thing
to get this done.
with the deception setup is you're going to have the warehouse guy presenting the illusion that he wants to retire, and something like, so you want to sell this all off because you're retiring? Yeah. Well, here's the paperwork. Okay. You just need to sign here and here and here. Okay. He just signs and signs and signs. That way it looks more legitimate than someone trying to talk to him. And he's like, I'm not retiring. I'm not doing anything. I don't know what am I here for? You guys are setting me up for something, that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the deception is set up. You kind of go over with the warehouse guy. He's pretty intelligent. So he repeats it back. He kind of goes over it a couple times. And so he comes in and does his, sits down. Do you want to do the mind trick first? Just to tell him to agree with everything this guy says?
Yeah, because in the skill it says there's a bunch of different things you can use it for, but the one we'll be using it for here says you make an otherwise unpalatable suggestion seem completely reasonable to the target. You must be able to communicate with the target, and that the suggestion can't obviously threaten the target's life.
Right.
The target won't realize later what he did is unacceptable. So this is where I'm going to push that idea of retiring early and make it seem like that's exactly what he wants to do, is retire early. So anything that he does say in reply to our guy seems legit.
Okay.
And to use it, it's a use the force check versus his will defense.
So it's a 19.
Okay. Natural 20.
There you go.
31 is the total.
Okay. So you tell him he wants to retire and he wants to sell off all his assets to this consortium. And he goes, okay.
Yay.
Nice. So you guys are recording it all on like a higher definition hollow recording, just in case people want to see, his eyes, or is he under distress or anything like that. Then it goes off without a hitch. He signs as many things as are put in front of him over.
Sweet.
So did you want to leave him with something like slavery, which is going to continue, or do you want to have him sign that over too, and you could shut that down or turn it off or whatever you want to do?
I think I want to, for business sake, just to decrease the suspicion, I want him to not sign over all of that.
Okay.
He still wants to be able to make money.
Right.
I think the Hutts would expect him to still want another avenue of cash.
Okay.
But I mean, we know we're going to be doing all of his business dealings, so we can just keep that, to the minimum. If not, we're controlling whatever happens with that slave trade, even though he's not signing it over, because we're going to be him basically.
Right. So do you want to have him just paid out of a certain amount for a couple months, stipulation-wise? Like he's signing this all over, but he gets a salary for 3 months, an exit salary or something like that.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense.
That way you can sign it all over to yourselves and then not have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
That works out then. So it doesn't take much. Haru's kind of like flabbergasted watching you do this to him. And he has not a worried look, but like they could actually do this to me if they wanted.
So after it's all done, she's going to let Haru know that he doesn't have to worry. She sees a look. She can sense the worry.
Yeah.
She says, "Don't worry. This is only on the weak-willed." Which kind of doesn't make sense because Odont has a pretty strong will,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
Haru doesn't have to know that.
Right. He says, okay.
And history will back you up on
Yeah.
that, because it's what's repeated over and over. You might be the guy or the gal that coins that phrase. Like
Yeah.
Obi-Wan got that 10 generations later from you.
Right. Well, and it would make sense that she's really good at the mind trick anyway, because she just is very persuasive.
Yeah. Okay. So they take Odont back to his holding cell, and Haru says, I can't wait to put him in carbon freeze. He's such a...
It's on its way.
Yeah. So anything else anyone want to do the rest of the day? Just pretty mundane.
Continuing to update with the girl on various corporate plans. I run things by Haru occasionally, but downtime.
Right.
Basically,
what you do after the signing is you start shuffling that information to her, and she starts putting it in, like he sold things off at different times and was looking to do it for a while, that sort of stuff. Putting feelers out. She makes fake feelers that he contacted people and stuff. So she's very thorough with her role. That's like a 34 by herself doing all this. So
Dang.
Yeah.
She's really good.
She's a slicer. This is her thing. So
She's only about as good as I am, guys. Come on.
for an NPC, that's pretty good. That's really good, actually.
I'm sure she's better than me. I'm jealous.
I think you guys are kind of on par. I think it's just a couple points different. But
My-
but your augmentations, and she has augmentations too. So
Gotcha. Okay.
um,
My
not-
computer skill is 15.
I think hers is like 17.
Yeah. So we're in the same ballpark.
Right.
But she'd get picked first for the team hacker if we were going to be playing dodgeball hacker style or whatever.
Yeah, several.
Yeah, but not if you were wearing your cool glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
several
Yeah,
levels.
that's true.
Several levels ago, she outshined you pretty good, but she's not increasing in rank.
Gotcha.
Level, I should say. So
Someday the master will become the learner or whatever, however that works out.
okay.
I coined that phrase, Mr. It only works on the weak-minded.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
So dinner comes and goes. You got everyone just kind of hitting base with what's going on, and everyone adjourns for the night.
Okay. I do bring up, hey, we need a next plan. I don't want to be idle once that ship's ready to go. Does anybody have an idea as to what you want to be the next step?
We were going to go stop a war.
That's my plan. I didn't know if you guys were all on board with it or not.
As far as I was concerned, that's what we were going to go do next.
Okay.
Yep.
No other suggestions involving treasure hunting or anything? Okay, gotcha.
A crew is just deep reading a tablet. Not that he's ignoring you, but definitely you're like, no treasure. Like, no, thank you. I have enough.
Yeah, I guess.
So in the back?
I guess
go ahead.
for the day you could have gone out and got the processor if you wanted.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah.
They're all over the place, so
What about that carbon freeze thing?
it's still like 3 days away.
Okay. In the back of Dodd's mind is this magical bad guy that really wants a piece of Hakru is still out there somewhere, and somehow was able to find him across the galaxy before. So Dodd's uncomfortable with staying at one place for very long. Just giving you the heads up on that. I don't know if he brings it up at the coffee table or the lunch table or the dinner table, but that's one of Dodd's concerns.
Didn't
You're gonna have to let me know when you decide to try to talk to a crew about that.
I don't know that I talked to you about it directly.
didn't we set up for her to get pinned for some of the activities? The
Yeah,
bounty, I think.
Yep, she's got a bounty on
just-
her, and you transferred all of them looking for you, or you causing trouble to her, being the trouble.
yeah.
So that might ease your worries a little bit. That's going to give her at least something to contend with, other than
Right.
focusing on the crew.
Yeah.
Or it's going to just make her really, really mad and determined.
Yeah.
That'll be Kirk's decision.
Yeah. Bounties show up.
Sorry,
on her.
Sorry, her crew.
Yeah. So it's everything's kind of set in motion for that to be a distraction or keep her off your backs for at least a while.
Okay.
Like I said, the rest of dinner is kind of quiet, goes by. Lashara, make a perception roll at a -5 because you're sleeping.
I rolled a 5. So let's see
Just your
here.
basic perception.
Yeah, 9.
9.
So we all don't wake up. We're all dead. Thanks, Lashara.
Oh boy.
She practiced hard today. She
yeah.
was very tired.
Yeah.
We do have 2 Force users, by the way. Just saying.
God.
Did I mention I set up that HK droid at my door? No, okay.
Dang, I didn't expect you to fail that.
Neither.
Do you want to spend a force point.
Yeah, sure. I actually haven't done that in a long time.
Okay.
So
And after
let's
tonight,
see if I even have some.
you guys level up, I believe. So
Yeah. Yeah, I have 7 that I have listed here, so I will put drop that.
spend them all.
Okay. Now, is that for a reroll, or is that just adding?
It just adds to it.
Okay, yeah, I'll spend them all.
I think you just get
I'm
spend
leveling.
one per roll.
Oh, you're only allowed 1 per roll?
Yeah.
Okay. And that, how does that work? Don't I add like a 1d6 to that or something?
Yes. Yeah. You roll 1d6 and add to it.
Okay. No. Two.
So how much? What did it turn into instead of a 9? It's a
11.
11. All right. You're sleeping and you start awake to a sound in your room, and then you sit up. The door is open to the hallway, and there's a figure standing there, and they fire, and this blue tunnel comes at you, and you have like the only thing you do is scream, or scream, or send out some sort of force pulse.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna use the force. What kind of skill would this fall under?
Well, I don't know. That's later. What am I doing?
It's just kind of a basic use the force as just a simple
Telepathic.
push out my feelings of to telepathically push out a feeling of distress.
Yeah, I think it's.
Oh yeah, 20 or 30. Yeah,
30. Definitely. You scream in your head, and then everything goes blank. The damage was 20, and I think that beats your threshold.
Shit.
So that's the way the stun is working now. Is you roll the damage. If it exceeds the damage threshold, then the person's just knocked out for an hour. There's no physical damage that they take.
Oh, okay.
So you're moved 5 steps down the condition track. And if this is too hard, like we're doing like less than 50%, or right at 50%, we'll double the damage and put that against the damage threshold.
Okay, so I don't take. I'm at 68 total hit points.
You don't take
but
any
I'm
damage. You're just out.
Just down to helpless. Okay.
Right. And then after an hour, you can spend 3 swift actions to bring yourself up 1 level on the condition track. So it basically takes a couple rounds for you to get, back up and back to full.
Yeah. So whatever's about to happen, I'm out for it.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
So
The dice have
is
spoken.
Hakru. It's up to you to roll. Use the force check, please. You're muted.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be okay. Because I rolled a 19. So I add my so 29 is my total on use the force right now.
You start awake, and the visual image you have is someone standing in a doorway shooting at you, and you're screaming, and then it stops.
Yeah, that that vibro dagger that gets whipped out from underneath my pillow is just
As it clears, there's no one in your room at all. Your room's dark. The door is closed. The door you saw was like on the other side of the wall, like it's not where it should be.
Could I do some kind of intelligence check to figure out if I recognize?
Yeah. Perception.
Oh, excellent. I will re-roll this because I got below a 10. Yeah, that was good. Okay, cool. So 16 plus, so 26.
Okay. You realize that you remember being in Lashar's room for something, and that looked like her door because hers is set on a different side.
Okay. I'm grabbing my heavy blaster pistol. I'm getting on my comm. I'm sending a message out to everyone's butt lashes saying, Lash is in trouble. I'm on my way now.
Okay.
Do we roll wake up
Perception.
rolls?
Yeah.
Right.
Roll perception. Some of you may have your comm set on silent. Quiet time. I don't want to be
Right.
bothered.
It's the best I can do
Yeah.
before I start shooting.
24.
Okay. You wake up and hear him on the comm.
I'll
Grab
say it
my
like
blaster,
two or
hit the
I'll say it like
doorway.
3 or 4 times.
Okay.
So that way, like, you miss the first one. What?
And a 17.
I rolled a 16.
Yeah, anything over 15, you're going to wake up and hear it. So the sound of him like huffing because he's running. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm running to
the
Lash's
door.
Go to
room.
bed and head towards Lash's room, yeah, if that's
Okay.
the message that we got.
And if
I'm
I
heading to the turbo lift on this floor. I'm not bothering with Lash's room.
Okay, where are you going to
I
go?
think to grab.
So who else going to Lash's room? Hands. Okay. So Godad, where are you going to go?
I'm going to the only, like, I'm imagining we're all on one floor
Yeah.
with a hallway and a turbo lift at the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
Right? One point of access.
Right.
I'm going to that point of access.
Okay. All right. You're heading down that way. Everyone else is running into Lash's room. The doors open. You guys look in and turn the lights on, and her bed's messed up, and she's not in there. Dodd, as you get to the elevator, you turn around and kind of look down the hallway, and you hear it's humming, and you look up, and it's going down.
Plug into the jack on the wall. I'm hoping that there is one, and stop that freaking elevator.
Roll a 4-sider, 3 and 4, yes.
Okay.
Because I don't know if they would have a terminal port
An
right
access
there.
port. Yeah.
I'd say on a 4.
Well, I rolled a 4. I will show you.
Okay, that's all right. There's
I
one
wanna-
there. It's for emergency use to open the doors.
Okay. I'm just excited that I actually rolled a 4. So please give me the opportunity to show you. These are my dice rolls for tonight.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I immediately jack into it and I stop that SOB
Okay.
cold.
Roll your computer use.
This is where I'll roll a 1. I rolled a 9, so the total number is 24. Did I think to put on my snazzy glasses or no? Probably not.
Probably not.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
24.
you stop it on the second floor.
Okay. Can I lock the door? Don't let them out?
Yeah, you could try. So
Okay.
another roll, processing
This
through
is-
it.
Yeah, this is kind of the security stuff that I've always wanted to do. 20.
20. You think you got it locked down. The doors aren't going to open.
Okay. I get on the comm and I say, Haro, emergency, emergency. Get security to level 2 turbo lift on the guest quarters hall.
You
And I
don't,
repeat it as many times as I need to.
at least for the first round, you don't hear anything back.
Okay.
The rest of you in her room, do you hear him panicking and calling out to Haro?
Yeah, I'm going to start running towards the turbo lift.
Okay.
And I'm also
I start running towards the nearest stairwell.
There you go.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
I'm
the same
also-
thing.
I'm
I
also
didn't
going
realize there was a stairway.
I'm going to reach out through the force to try to detect Lash.
Okay. This building is big. You guys are on the top floor. It's like 8 stories. So it's several
Okay.
stories down. Make a use the force check.
In the meantime, do I see my cohorts making for the stairway?
Yes.
If I do, I go, I start running that way.
Rua and Jad go sprinting for the stairs.
Okay.
21.
Okay. You don't sense her right now because she's unconscious.
Right. Which puts me into a little bit of more panic. And when I see
Yeah.
people running towards the stairs, I now
Yeah.
switch to run towards the stairs.
Yeah, I assumed you kind of stopped next to Jad, or not to Jad, next to Dodd while he's like panicking a little bit with his interface, and then he unplugs himself, and you both take off at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is acrobatics to get down faster.
I'm so
Yeah,
good
there
at
is
this.
no athletics, so it would be acrobatics, I guess.
Okay,
So good at this. Okay, here we go.
and I'd say it's a base 10 to like move down as fast as you can, like skipping steps and stuff like that.
24.
No,
Okay.
I'm so good at this. I just rolled a 6.
Okay.
No, that's the whole thing.
I thought you had something.
Yeah, I've got an acrobatic skill of 4, and I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay, I see. So you at one point stumble down the stairs and grab the railing, and you're like, feet are back behind you, and you've caught yourself from going like face first.
Yeah.
Jad,
I
what'd
got
you
a
get?
23.
Okay.
I'm running up the stairs in case somebody landed on the roof,
Okay.
like get taken away that way. And I rolled a 27.
Okay. You make it up to the top, and the door pops open, and you run out and look, and no one's there. Mary and Hakru, Rura and Hakru made 2 levels at once in one turn as opposed to just one.
And I'm one behind that too.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm going-
You're halfway down one flight, so you're at 7.5.
Right. Okay.
So next acrobatic rolls.
Is
right.
this so? Here's a question: Is this a hollow stairwell, like going around itself, or are there walls in between?
Boy, oh boy.
Think fancy. What's the first that comes to your mind?
Roll a 20-sider, because this isn't really used by anybody. So on a 20 or 18 or 20, 18 to 20, then it's got an open thing. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm thinking this is a stairwell, like a fire escape stairwell. So it doesn't want people.
one they can easily block off if needed.
Yeah, it doesn't want people falling to their death trying to escape something.
I was so ready just to throw that grappling hook and just jump over.
Basically, you guys are jumping down anyway, so
But I rolled a 10, so.
so you
well.
make one down.
I spent a force point to get to 13.
Okay.
Oh no, that was to see if there was a hole. Now I got to roll my actual acrobatics.
Okay. So
I
Mary.
rolled an actual 20.
Oh, there you go. So 22,
24.
24. So you move 2 levels down. So you're
23.
okay.
I made up for the one I lost.
Right. So you and Mary kind of meet up.
And I rolled a 19 to start coming back down.
Okay. So you're down at level 6.
So Mary and I are
Do
down
I
4
get
levels.
Any bonus for running faster than everybody else?
Ooh, damn it.
Because
Yes,
I've got an
you
extra
Yeah, you would.
feet of speed, I think. Or at
Yes.
least 5 feet of speed. My base. Where's my speed? Yeah, my speed is 8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
mine's
Opposed to
6.
So 7, 8. It's almost a half. Boy. So for you, a 15 or more. Oh boy. It's going to be a little bit faster. So instead
Instead
of
of her on the same level,
you're moving for 10 or more, you're moving 10 to 19, you're moving a story and a half. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then over that
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
2 is that right? Then it would be like 3 stories over a 20.
she's
Okay, so I
6
would get
stories down then.
Yeah.
No, it would be 4.5. We've only done 2 rolls.
Right.
I made it over
Oh.
20 the first time. under the second, so it would be 4.5 down
Right.
for me.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you got a 22 on the second one. Sorry, my bad.
And so
So
for
I got 13 on the second one.
and for everybody else, it's 10 to 19 is one floor, and 20 above would be two floors down. So
Okay.
does it make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So what level are you guys at? Who's what levels are you at right now?
I'm 4 down. I
Down
think Mary's.
4.5.
Yeah.
I'm 3 down.
Okay.
I'm at level 6.
Okay. And Dodd's at 5,
Yes, I'm at 5.
and Mary's at 3.
So where did
4.
we start? We
8.
started at.
If we started on 8,
I'm
I've
at
made it.
3.5.
Yeah, and I'm at 4.
Okay.
So I'm a half a flight behind Mary.
Yeah, she leaps and like does this parkour thing off the wall and bounces through. Let me. So go ahead and roll again.
You've got to be kidding me. Okay, 24.
There you go. So you're down 2 more levels.
I got 21 again.
You got 2 more
I'm
levels.
down another 1.5. I got up 12.
Okay. So you're Mary's
Lord Vader has some words here.
I'm at 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
Dodd?
And
I mean,
I
not
got a
Dodd.
s-
Jed.
3.
I got a 16, so I'm down to level 5 now.
Okay.
Just walking lazily.
Okay.
yeah, so Mary and I have now caught up to Mary.
Right. Make a
Mary decided she had to slow down because she was going really fast and she's very big.
Yes. Make a perception roll, you two. Hakru and Rua.
I'm going to re-roll that one because it's less
26.
than a 10. There we go. 25.
Okay. As you both get past the doorway on level 2, you hear some like fizzling and crackling.
Oh, I did say level 2 in my
Yeah.
Oh, you
yelling
did?
on the comp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, then Hakru
Yeah,
is going
that's
to...
the door I'm bursting through, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hakru and Rura are about to both shoulder check that door.
Okay. You guys burst through, and it's initiative. I guess everybody should roll initiative.
Not me.
I'm using my re-roll on initiative as well.
God, it's been forever.
I know.
There we go. Thank God for these
21.
re-rolls.
21 on my initiative.
Okay. Anyone get higher than 21?
23 for Jed.
I got a 17.
I got an 18.
We really are just like shoulder to shoulder through this thing.
Yeah, my first roll was a 1, so I used my re-roll to roll, and then I got a 7 on it, so 7 plus 11.
So you got 19, and you both got 19?
She got 17, I got 18.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm still 1 floor above where they are.
Right.
And I'm 3 floors above.
Right. So as you guys are busting the door open, you look down the hallway a little bit, and there is a large figure with a sack over their shoulder, and they've got weapons out pointed at you.
Shooting.
So it's one large figure with a sack with a weapon and another figure, or just one person?
No. A person is carrying a person.
Right.
Okay.
The sack has a person.
Right.
How far away?
I don't know. 3 squares.
3 squares?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm trying to snap off the shot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Mary and I are both, when it hits our turn, we're both taking the same approach of shoot.
Okay.
Are there significant penalties to shoot at somebody carrying your friend fireman style?
I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say they have a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
cover. Probably, if you have someone over you and you're doing this, significant cover, I guess. And I don't know if you miss, then it's going to hit her. That's all I can think of. Let's look up cover
Perhaps
real
stun
quick.
would be. It's our opportunity to test it out.
Yeah.
Or you can just aim. That's what I'm gonna do.
Good luck, Flash.
Yep.
Big creature cover, low objects cover, improved cover.
Cover just gives you
It's not
5 to your
total.
reflex.
Yeah. Improved cover, that would be 10, so it's a +5. Is there a shooting into melee?
I'm not
He's not in melee with anybody.
right, but
What
it
else would this be
shooting
under?
an ally nearby.
I
Right.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
technically speaking, yes, but
Shooting or throwing into a melee. It's just a -5 penalty on the attack roll. So it works out either way. If you call it cover, it's a +5 to his defense or a -5 to our offense if you call it
Okay.
shooting into melee. So either way, it's a 5 penalty. Because precise shot will negate the shooting into melee penalty. So
Okay.
they're-
And it also does
Yeah.
cover?
No, it's just that's just negating the penalty to attack roll if you're shooting into a melee.
Okay.
It doesn't affect cover. So it's up to you. I don't have a precise shot. That is listed here.
I'm going to say it's cover, just because of
And
it.
practically speaking, it makes sense. Like if they're over your back and we're trying to shoot around her, it
Right.
makes sense. that
Right,
it's cover.
and that's why I'm taking aim, because aim, which is 2 swift actions, lets you ignore cover.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I'm saying like you could literally just aim.
Okay. Since he goes first in the initiative, he doesn't shoot, but he says, this is between me and her. It has nothing to do with you.
All right.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll.
Cool. Boom.
Yeah, considering it just 2 swift actions, I'll also be aiming.
Okay.
Does a 22 hit?
Right on the nose.
D8, because this is not my sniper rifle.
Ooh. Oh, I got 22 exactly by spending a force point
There you
and
go.
with point blank shot. I was sitting at 21 going, no! And then, yeah, point blank shot. He's within 6 squares, so I get +1. So, also hit.
That is not what I'm looking for.
He takes 21 points of damage from me.
Okay. That is just below his threshold. 21 points.
And 16 from me.
Okay. So it's 37 altogether. All right. Jad and Dodd, make your descending rolls.
16.
Oh, I'm 14. I'm still walking.
Okay. Boy.
So I'll get to that floor at the beginning of the next round, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he missed. And it's a stun shot that goes out. And so it hits the wall next to you and dissipates. So that is Hakru's turn.
All right. Gonna shoot again. Sorry, I got some skills that I was trying to look at. Okay, cool. Doing it again. I miss. I got a 13 total.
Okay.
Or, sorry, 16 total, but still.
Okay.
Because point blank.
All right, Mary.
Rura does not think to switch to stun.
Okay.
Kind of bloodlusty moment. So. You're kidnapping my friend. That's not okay.
She's your friend now?
Kidnapping's never okay.
Well,
Dogs and cats living together. Mass
Yeah.
hysteria.
it's
I'm
one of
with
those,
you,
you're
Eric.
not
I
allowed
don't
to
get it.
steal my personal enemy. 22.
That's
Or 23 to hit.
20 hit. Yep.
17 damage.
Wow.
Looking pretty rough, but he's still standing up. Jad and Dodd, make your roll for descending.
Oh, I'm there. I should be on level 2.
Okay, then you pop out and you see Hakru and Rura are standing there, both firing, and they're firing at a figure that's holding, looks like Lash, in
All right.
a bed sheet wrapped up.
Okay, I immediately what do you do? Switch to stun. And I switch to stun.
Okay, go ahead and fire.
Okay. I have a really awesome I'm within 4
Yeah.
now, maybe. Okay.
You're 3 squares away.
Okay, I have a really awesome attack bonus of +3, +1 for having the. I can't believe that my attack bonus is really only +3.
Yeah.
It has to be more than that. +3 is your base half level, or not? Is your probably closer to your base? Is there a number next to the +3? Is it +3
+2?
and then a
Yeah, so it's
so
+5.
It's a total +5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've been doing this wrong.
And then +1
Yeah,
for
I had to. Yeah, for the point blank.
+1 for point blank range. Okay,
Right.
so it's a little bit more possible for me to hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The number in
Yeah.
red is your base attack bonus, and the +2
So-
is from like dexterity.
Your ability score.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I only rolled a 9, so
Okay.
we're not. But a big blue cylinder of coalescing light goes out over the room.
Okay, I still would have missed last time, so that's fine. But like, it went from I went way wide to like it went right past his ear.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had to spend the force point. I didn't realize that to the second round, but it's fine.
Dodd, what floor are you on, Dodd? No, not Dodd, Jad.
He should be one
I
below.
rolled an 18. I can't remember if 18 was 2 floors or 1 floor.
1 floor. 20 or
Then
above.
I am
52.
on the third. I am on the 3rd floor now.
Okay, you're hearing all
one above
this.
us.
You're hearing all this gunfire, and you hear Dodd shout out about using stun. The person fires at a crew and misses.
Because that's worked out for people in the past.
It goes wide too. He's like staggering and shooting. So that is Harkrew's turn.
Yeah, he's got to be encumbered. So
Oh yeah, he's hurt too, really bad.
oh, that's glorious. Yeah, that's a 20.
Okay.
Nat 20. Like I said, shooting a crew tends to work out really well for people. Okay. So, don't screw me on damage. Not screwed. Okay. 10, 11, plus 1 from point blank. So that's 12, 24.
All right. And that knocks him one thing down too.
And just in a as much of a snarl as he goes, "You drop her, you son of a bitch."
Rua, it's your turn.
It's a Cruz Indigo Montoya moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, I'm going for Eastern European accent. He was an Eastern European guy.
Works for me, man.
Yeah.
I liked it. I forgot how much I missed your character voice for Hikaru. It's really fun.
Yeah, except for when I screw up and then it gets really racist. But
I don't think anybody watching will ever think that that's your intention.
that's why I keep stating
Okay.
the idea is Eastern European.
So
I
if you hit
have
with a
no
24,
idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. Sorry, Mary was talking and I spoke over her.
That's fine. 8, 15, 19, 20, 21, 23.
That hits.
No, 22 and no, I hit with a 24.
Oh, okay.
This is damage. It's 23 damage, but I switched to stun.
Oh, okay. So that hits his damage threshold, and he just goes down. With a sickening thud, her head also
Oh, God.
hits
That was the thing.
4 points of
I didn't
damage.
bother aiming because if I had switched to stun, it was like, oh, now it doesn't matter so much if I hit her.
Yeah, Lash, take 4
So-
points of damage. You're gonna have a nice big knot on your head.
Yeah. Not dead. Hey, I'm cool.
So I
So
believe I'm next, right?
yes,
Okay, so I push
Jad pops in probably.
Yeah. So hey, what I miss?
He pops to the door and like everyone's looking at a smoking body on the floor.
Okay, I push past the enormous cat person and the Zabrak, and I say, "Keep your weapons on him." And I move up and roll the sack of person off of this guy, and I get a look at who this person is.
The person is the same species as Lash. It's a Bothan.
Oh no! I go, this is starting to feel like domestic problems. And I go to unzip the bag or whatever you do to unfasten
Just
it.
unroll it. He just quickly rolled her up in her bed sheet.
Oh, okay. All right. I start unrolling that. Right.
Lash rolls out, conks her other side of her head. Ugh.
How much more damage do you think?
Okay. Does anybody remember any handcuffs? And then I look down and realize I'm in the Star Wars version of boxers and a T-shirt. And maybe socks.
Space boxers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boxers and a Han Solo vest.
That's perfect.
Blaster, but
All right.
nothing else really.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the sheet and rip a long strip of it off and start tying this guy's hands behind his back.
Okay.
I kick the blaster over to my friends who are probably standing there looking fierce with their gun in his face.
Hakuru is following suit with what he was going to do to the mayor before you guys stopped him. So if nobody stops him, Hakuru just walks up and puts a bullet in this guy's head.
No,
No,
if
we
it
would
looks like
stop
you're gonna
you.
do that, we stop.
Yeah.
No. You start walking forward, and I'm just like, hang on. Without taking my gun off of them. But
Oh yeah. Hakuru's like trained on him. Dodd pushes past. Hakuru starts to follow. There's a big claw. It's like, this is not smart.
I do
At
like the
least
kind
it's
of
just
Eastern
fun
Bloc.
first.
We're going to finish this guy off kind of mentality, but in this instant, I don't believe this is what's called for. I think Dodd would notice Arura stopping Hakuru from doing that, and I go, Dodd, I appreciate your enthusiasm. Let's hold off on that for now. What do you think?
it's
Hakuru just like keeps
personal.
like he doesn't really answer. He just kind of keeps staring for a second with his gun still off and goes, "If he wakes up before you finish tying him up, I will end him."
How about you stun him?
But that's not what they said.
I know it's not what you said,
Right.
but it's
We don't want
it's-
him dead. We need to know why he's doing this.
a
And
better
like you
answer
said,
than
it
I
was
about to give.
personal. It may be important to Lash.
This
do
could
not feel-
be
It's like
family.
it's like he does make a show of switching over to stun. He goes, "I do not feel that anybody who wished her any good intent would have come at her in the night. No one who means good intent comes at somebody in the night."
Yeah, look at it this way. Maybe he's a person with really low charisma and is afraid of confronting us because he doesn't want to be embarrassed.
If
We're
it's a
too cool.
domestic
Does
dispute,
Haku
how did
know
they
what the
find
word
us?
Embarrassment means.
No.
Good
It's
point.
a whole lot of words you just used, and they just like you
So-
saw them physically hit a crew and bounce off.
Right. I see that, and I look at Rura, and Rura kind of shrugs, probably, and I go, "Okay, let's get this guy up to one of our chambers."
We'll do a wipe for an hour
Okay.
later when he's waking up, and Lashara is also waking up like just a minute or two before he does.
Okay. I give a crew
crew-
a bucket full of water, and I say, "Crew, he gives us any guff, you dump this on him." Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's
'Cause
a
I was-
cruel thing.
Okay.
I was
do
going to
Dog person.
start treating like the bump on Lash's head.
Oh, that might be nice too. No, Chad won't fall for it. Chad
You
would
can just
never
threaten-
consider a bucket of water to be very exciting.
No, I think I've got this stun grenade right here in my hand, and if he doesn't answer our questions, I'm gonna shove it down the back of his pants.
Yes. Does it look enough like a real regular grenade that
There's no difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'm going to sit in a chair across from this dude.
Okay. He wakes.
I'll just stand behind him holding the grenade.
He's
No weapons in my hands at all. I'm
slowly waking up, like looking around.
Good morning.
Where is she?
Nearby. Where is she?
Are we not all in the same room?
I'm asking you guys, where did you put Lashara? Is she in the same
if-
room with us, or
Yeah, I would. If we're all in the same room, then she's in the same room. If you decided you wanted to take him somewhere private, then we brought Lash back to her room.
okay? I think this is good enough. With all of us in the same room, that way we can all interact. We can all throw our 2 cents worth in, and hopefully not kill this guy unnecessarily. All right. So I say she's nearby, and I look to my right. She's sitting right next to him, being repaired.
Holding like an ice pack on a bump.
All right.
He says, "I didn't do that. Who did that to her?"
No, you were definitely more gentle when you bashed into her room, stunned her, rolled her up in a blanket, and tried to sequester her away from her friends in the middle of the night. Definitely, you're the hero here.
I do what I get paid for.
I see. So you're a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Hakru, maybe the plan A was the right plan. And I look at Jad, knowingly.
Yep, I think I'm gonna just shove this down your pants and walk out this door. And then I'm gonna turn it on and shove it down his pants.
He looks at it. Okay.
I'm sorry. I tried to stop you before you do that. If you listen to me, great. If you don't, then it's inevitable.
He shoves it down the pants. It goes off. Everyone in the room's knocked out.
Oh no!
So
It's a big blast.
couple hours later, you guys all sort of wake up like, what? What?
Hopefully this guy's
What?
still in the chair.
Holy cow! Whoa! A grenade did that, man. Woo! Yeah, it's a
That
huge, it's a
packed
good
little more punch
radius.
than I thought it would.
Yeah, it's a big radius.
Oh man!
It's
Okay.
actually a really good radius.
As I'm waking up, take
How much-
2. Let's try this
How much
again.
damage does Lashara take now?
It's stun damage.
It's stunned.
So
none.
once it, everyone's just knocked out for an hour. It doesn't explode. It's like a pulse.
Needed a nap.
That's awful. This is like a Tarantino movie.
I
all of a
know.
sudden.
Three Stooges Tarantino.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, everyone's
more
like,
serious.
what? Oh man, everyone's kind of groggy, having to spend the 3 swift actions to like stabilize.
I get there faster. I only have to spend 2.
Oh, there you go. You wake up and look around. You're like,
Scout.
this is my crew.
They're quick.
You're looking around like, this is my crew.
Lashara is looking completely and utterly ragged.
Yeah.
Like her hair is all puffed and tousled, and the bump is still there, and
Yeah.
her eyes are like almost rolled back in
Yeah.
the back of her head.
Her-
She's been
her-
done twice in a couple hours.
Her bedclothes are all wet because the ice pack. She just fell backwards, so it's been melting for an hour on her in her bed.
And she pissed herself.
Some of you may have. Some of you may have. So
I'm assuming we wake
check
up
on
before
that.
this guy.
yeah, the rest of you all wake up at about the same time. And he's like, "What is going on?" He's looking around at the other guys, like getting up and like shaking their head. He's like, "You guys are nuts."
One of us.
He's like, "If you," he says, "My
Wait a
or-
minute, didn't Chad walk out of the room? So he
No.
was probably just fine.
no, it's a huge radius. It's a huge radius. It got everybody."
That's the problem. Is Jad was walking and he needed to run.
Yeah.
Grenades are meant to be thrown a distance. He's like, here, turns around, starts
Pants,
walking.
Walk away.
Well, it was a fun idea. I don't know. Like Dodd's not thinking that, but Greg's thinking that.
Thankfully,
Okay, so
thankfully, we just changed that damage. Otherwise, you guys would have got some damage.
Right.
Yeah.
Because how much damage did it do?
interrogation and a hospital
Fine.
stay seems great.
It's like 4d10 of
oh
stun.
my god.
Yeah, that would have hurt.
Feeling bad.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
stun grenades are meant to stun rooms full of people all at once.
Well, we now know how they work.
This guy's good. These things have a good range on them, man.
You should definitely get more of those. Those were great.
Yeah, I've still got
The
one.
crew's got 6 of them.
Oh
All
my
right.
god. this
He
is
just
so-
didn't think this was a good solution.
Yeah. All right.
Look, man, bounty hunter guy, what's your name?
Oh.
I say.
Let me
Whatever.
get a name.
So what are you doing here? Who hired you? Why are you taking our friend?
He said it's all on the pad in my shoulder pocket.
Oh, good. I'm glad it's not your back pants pocket. Let me grab that
That
shoulder
doesn't exist anymore.
pocket, and I take out the pad and I read it. What does it say?
You turn it on, and it's a very well kept Bothan female, really well dressed, and you see a resemblance to Lash. And she says, Trick, I am hiring you to bring her home immediately. Use whatever means you need to bring her here, and make it fast. And Lash looks over and recognizes it's her mother.
Okay, well, I
then
don't
he goes,
for sure, but I see a resemblance.
Yeah.
I look over at Lash.
Same
and I
fur,
say,
same patterns almost.
Lash, you want to add some meaning to this?
I never thought she'd go to those kind of means for me to come home. I'm sorry, guys.
He says there's another hollow thing on my other shoulder that's a message to her from her mother.
All right, I pull that out and I throw it to Lash.
It
And,
hits her because she's just not even in a way to catch a damn thing.
I look back at the bounty hunter and I say, "Okay, Trick.
Man, you guys. It's like,
Obviously, we're a pretty dangerous group.
Seriously, like God,
it looks like this is a rescue instead of a bounty.
Ourselves, like
God, can you like just roll to hit on me? I gotta know if that message does damage.
No.
I need a black eye now.
I didn't throw it hard enough to do any
Okay.
damage.
Okay.
I just kind of tossed it in your direction. And, like, you know, Dodd's got kind of a sense of respect for things that should be private. So I didn't ask you to play it. He just threw it to you so you could choose, right?
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at this bounty hunter and I'm saying, hey, obviously we're a very dangerous group of people. I would really very much appreciate you considering this a failed attempt and just go home.
He says she needs to see the video.
I want to know how you found it. We haven't been putting out any like we're not using our credit cards.
It's got a point. How did you find us?
She sent
Flash.
a message.
Lash asks to be excused for a moment. She wants to watch the video by herself first.
Yeah. Do it. Try not to fall down.
Does somebody scoot the guy out of the room?
She does one of those things where she's walking out and she puts her hand behind you like,
I mean, we all feel that way now.
right.
God, I can't believe we just blew each other up.
An image.
We did not blow each other up.
An image of Lasha's mom's face, big, pops up, and she says, "You have got to come home now, immediately. Your father is in very poor health, and I'm done with you, and I'm done indulging your fantasy lifestyle, blah blah blah, whatever you want to call it. It's time to come home and assume your post with the family, for the family, before you kill your father. Get home immediately." And
So I don't know if they can.
maybe
can see
maybe an
who's out in the
maybe
hallway.
an I'm so disappointed in you at the end. Is it?
Okay. So Lash is gonna walk back in, and suddenly she's sobered up, and she says, "My father is in really bad shape. Is there any way that we could go to Bothwai?"
We're
And she
not
like
far.
looks directly at at Dodd. I mean,
We're not far from there. Why don't we take our second ship?
Well, actually, by this point, isn't the Ripper ready?
It should be ready.
Oh,
yeah.
it's ready tomorrow morning?
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
We can
Hey,
bring both.
yeah. I mean, we can wait for that amount of time.
Okay. Well, look at Bounty Hunter Guy. Bounty Hunter Guy, you want to follow us home and collect your money?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what we'll do. But I'll have no more funny business from you because I can't take getting knocked out again.
He says,
And he says it deadpan, like
Yeah, that's just been absolutely serious.
the bounty hunter says, I'll do my best to keep everyone safe.
We appreciate it.
And with
All
that,
right.
we'll close down for the night because it's 10:30. So
Okay.
thank you, everyone, for tuning in again. And we'll see you next time. May the Force be with you. This has been a production of Gaming Without Gaming, all rights reserved. Visit us at gamingwithoutgaming.com. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/gamingwithoutgaming. Title music is by Greg Braun. Find him on soundcloud.com/Clara7. That's KLARA-7. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Gaming Without Gaming logo music is by Kevin MacLeod.